like, comment, and subscribe for more content.
Ooh, what's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Popcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's edition, we got quite a bit of really great Funko Pop announcements for this week, especially the recently announced, but as you guys would be listening to this, the recently released Galactic Convention, also known as Star Wars Celebration 2020 exclusive pops, which we will be talking about. And the pop announcements we will be talking about in today's podcast before we do our top 10 Funko Pops list for the month of August span from August 17th up until August 25th. Unfortunately, as we record this on the 26th, we won't be talking about today's announcement of the new wave of South Park Pops, which will be the first set of pops we talk about on next week's podcast. But yes, like I said, the last segment for this podcast today is our top 10 Funko Pops of August 2020, which there is some banger and fire pops for this month. And it's probably going to get even as crazy or crazier next month in September due to the fact that probably within the first couple of weeks of September, we're going to be getting those New York Comic-Con exclusive Funko Pop announcements. So without further ado, we're going to kick off with the first set of pops that span from the 17th to the 19th, which kicking off, as we had kind of teased last week, is the Child with Control Knob, which will be an EB Games / GameStop exclusive. And this is expected to release as early as September 2020. Then Funko had announced NFL Legends Pops, which first we have Vince Lombardi of the Green Bay Packers, Reggie White of the Philadelphia Eagles, Steve Young of the San Francisco 49ers, LaDainian Tomlinson of the Los Angeles Chargers, Ray Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens, Howie Long of the Oakland Raiders, and Jim Kelly from the Buffalo Bills. And these are expected to release as early as November 2020. And then we got ourselves here another pop for the Alien Remix lineup. This was announced during a video of recapping the first wave, which this is a glow-in-the-dark alien as Buzz Lightyear, which from my understanding from photos I've seen, this is actually available now as a part of a Pop and Tea bundle that is exclusive to Target. And then FYE had announced their own exclusive Funko Pop of an alien as Elastigirl, but with the gray outfit, in which this is available to purchase now. And then Funko had announced some Funko Ween Pops that were dropped on the Funko Shop as Funko Shop exclusives, which the list we have here, we have Franken Freddy, Zombie Magneto from the Marvel Zombies lineup, an Artist Series 0 from Nightmare Before Christmas, two variants of the skeleton from Corpse Bride, and then we got two pops for the Edward Scissorhands lineup. We got Edward with Kebabs, and we have the Inventor, which obviously those were available now because of the fact that they released on the Funko Shop on August 19th. All right, so kicking off with the Child Pop, the brand new Child Pop, which this is an all right pop. I mean, of course, they're going to milk the Child, do different variants because the original sold so well that even to the point that I think it's even been recorded as the top selling Funko Pop in history. So, of course, they're going to milk the hell out of the Child. Then we got the NFL Pops, which these are all right. I'm not really the biggest fan of NFL, obviously, but it's cool that they brought in what looks to be a coach in this lineup, which is Vince Lombardi. He's got that like trench coat going on. That's all right. And then the only name I actually recognize, I think, is Ray Lewis. The glow-in-the-dark alien pop, which is pretty cool, actually. I like the way that the green glows on this. Green is such a good color that glows in the dark. I can't wait to get this pop. It's going to be hard because, one, it's a Pop and Tea bundle, and usually you never see Pop and Tea bundles sold in Canada. And two, it's Target exclusive, so because it's Target, it's not going to go to Toys R Us in Canada either. The alien as Elastigirl in her gray outfit. This is pretty cool. At first, I was like, where's the one with like her normal outfit? Because it wasn't really announced at the time. But technically, I'm pretty sure you can actually order them on the Funko Shop, the brand new second wave. We haven't talked about them yet, actually, because we're waiting on Funko to do their own separate post. It's not my favorite, obviously, but it's still a cool addition to the Alien Remix lineup. The Frankenfreddy, this is pretty cool. I don't really know why, as Frankenstein, Freddy would be holding a cell phone, but they probably just took the body mold from the social media Freddy and just kind of slapped it on this Franken Freddy. Then we got the zombie Magneto, which looks so awesome, actually. I was a fan of the photos for the mystery minis that they announced for the Marvel Zombies lineup, and I loved how that turned out. So the fact they made a pop of it is also really cool, and the amount of detail that's in this is just insane, from like the different color eyes, you got the teeth, and you even have like his ribs showing, which is really really cool, and even his cape is kind of torn in that he's flying, which is so awesome. Great job on Funko for that. The Artist Series Zero, in my opinion, this isn't one of the best Artist Series pops. When I first look at it, like, it reminds me of an orange creamsicle in a way, but it's all right. Then we got the skeleton pop, which I guess is all right. I haven't seen Corpse Bride in I don't know how long now, but I know fans were super pumped about this, and a lot of people were able to buy two because that was the limit, so they can get a chance to get that chase, which, I mean, of course, all the chase does is glow in the dark and it's green, which it's all right, but it's like, it's not one of the best glow in the dark pops. Of course, if you want to get that complete Corpse Bride set, you're probably going to have to get both of these. The Edward Scissorhand pops, which, man, I was thinking when they announced like the newer set in May, how cool it would be to have an Edward Scissorhands with the kebabs attached to his fingers, which I remember that in the movie, and that was such a cool scene. And then they have it in Funko Pop form, which is just so awesome. I like this pop. And then the Inventor, which is really cool too. You're expanding from just Edward and then making a bunch of molds of him, because the only pops I think really that are not just Edward Scissorhands in the lineup is, I think, Kim and then the Inventor now. So it's cool that they're expanding on more characters.
So yeah, it's cool to hear that the child is maybe, possibly, the most sold Funko Pop ever. And honestly, if it is, that makes sense to me because one of my buddies, I bought him the original child, and he doesn't even collect Funko Pops, and that is one that he has. So it makes so much sense that that could very well be the most sold Funko Pop of all time. In my opinion, though, I'm happy with having the original child and now newly added to my collection yesterday, the 10-inch version of that pop. So this version of the child is just kind of mediocre, but I understand it's going to sell, so why not make it? If it keeps Funko around longer, then sure, I'm okay with this release. The football pops, these are all right. I mean, the football pops are a lot better now because, of course, we have those new poses and there's, like, obviously, like, some more variety. And then we have these grass stands now, which is really, really nice. And, yeah, Vince Lombardi or whatever, the coach, I guess, that's cool to see, too, because I would love to see NHL pop coaches. I would love to see, like, Tortorella and Barry Trotz and all those guys, even maybe a Mike Babcock. So this is a cool lineup of NFL pops. I'm not too disappointed with it. Alien as Buzz Glow in the Dark. This is awesome. I love this pop. I just love the glow in the dark factor. I know that Buzz Lightyear does have a glow in the dark feature, I think, in the movie, and I know that there are action figures of Buzz that are glow in the dark. So this is cool and it makes sense. The Elastigirl is also really cool because I didn't think we'd see this. I really like how they went with like the what would you call it? Like her, I guess, debut outfit.
Yeah, it would have been her outfit before she married Mr. Incredible.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool. And I'm not sure if there even is a pop of Elastigirl just with this outfit on, is there?
There might be in like the
Because I know
very
that there
old
is one
set.
of the blue suit Mr. Incredible,
Yes.
but I don't know if there's one of this. But either way, this is really cool, and I didn't think I would see it. The Frank and Freddy, this is really cool. It's obviously really good to see more Freddy Funkos. I still don't have one in my collection. I'm just waiting for that perfect one that I think I need, because I don't really plan on collecting a lot of them, but I do definitely want one. I just don't think this is going to be the one. The Magneto zombified. This is really cool. There's a lot of detail in it. The helmet looks amazing. Just the shading and everything is great. And then the face looks really cool too, with kind of that like cleft lip, and then the teeth look cool. They're a little like stained yellow, and just the costume, everything. This is one of the best zombie pops for the Marvel Zombie series. Then the Zero. This is alright. I totally agree with you when you say orange creamsicle. It totally has that vibe. You're right, though. It's not one of the best artist series pops. It is cool, and I'm sure there will be people who love it just because what it comes from. But I do love the pumpkin nose. I think that looks really, really good, especially with the kind of colorway that it has. The skeleton from Corpse Bride, This is all right. It reminds me of something else, but I can't put my finger on it. But I guess it's cool that it has a chase, and I'm sure a lot of people will be trying to get that chase. The Edward Scissorhands with the kebab fingers. This is pretty cool. I do like this one, but I love the inventor. I think that is a great pop, and I love the character that the inventor is in Edward Scissorhands. So I think he really does deserve a pop.
All right, so now we'll move on to the, I guess, last set of Funko Pops we're going to discuss before we move on to our top 10 Funko Pops list of the month of August, which kicking off is, like I said, the recently announced, and as you guys would be listening to it, but actually hasn't released yet for us because we're recording on the Wednesday, the Galactic Convention, also known as Star Wars Celebration 2020 exclusive pops, which you guys, if you're regular viewers of the channel, we have been doing content all week on Galactic Convention with the Cop Up or Pass Up and the Which is Better video. So kicking off, we have Concept Series Pops, which we have Star Killer, which will be shared to FYE in the US and Sunrise Records here in Canada. Chewbacca, which will be shared to the Funko Shop in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Boba Fett, which will be shared to the Funko Shop in the US and Hot Topic, out of all places here in Canada. And then last but not least, for the Concept Series Pops, we got Darth Vader, which will be shared to GameStop in the US and EB Games here in Canada. Then we move on for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. For this con, we got ourselves a Lesson in the Force pop movie moments, which this will be shared to both the Canadian and American versions of Amazon. And then we got the 10-inch Stormtrooper, which will be shared to Target in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. And then announced on that same day, on the 20th, the Funko app had confirmed a Jollibee on delivery bike pop rides, which will be exclusive to the Jollibee restaurants in the Philippines, I'm pretty sure. And I think that whole deal is that, like, I think you order from their restaurants for like a certain X amount of money, and then you get that pop for free. I think that's how it's going. Then on the 21st, Funko HQ had confirmed on their Facebook page of their own exclusive Donald Duck in pajamas pop to celebrate the 3-year anniversary of when Funko HQ had opened up the retail store, in which that's obviously available now because they released that day. On that same day, we got ourselves a Hot Topic exclusive Batman as a Murder Machine, or Murder Machine Batman, I should have said, in which this is available now, and it has its own 1-in-6 chase that is glow in the dark. Then on the 24th, Funko had announced, or basically kind of re-announced, more pops for the Retro Toys lineup, but added some new pops that weren't previously announced, which are the red and blue variants of the Rock'em Sock'em robots, which those are expected to release as early as November 2020. And then also, I guess, included in this Retro Toys lineup is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Funko Pops, which we have ourselves here: Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, Casey Jones, and then we have a specialty series exclusive, April O'Neil. And then on the 25th, Funko had announced a glow-in-the-dark Devil Flanders for the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror lineup, which this is going to be exclusive to Amazon and is expected to release as early as October 2020. And then last but not least, the last set of Funko Pops that we are going to be talking about for this podcast, we have ourselves the WWE, I guess I'm going to call it Legends lineup because there's no current superstars in this lineup. We got ourselves here The Rock, Mr. T, Macho Man Randy Savage, and a 2-pack of Hulk Hogan and Mr. T that'll be exclusive to Amazon. And these are expected to release as early as November 2020. All right, so starting off with the Concept Series Pops, like I said in probably both of the videos that we had done this week for Star Wars Celebration Pops, these are a really cool idea. It's definitely better than what Funko had done last year with Star Wars Celebration. That's released. I think it was 12 pops and 10 of them were chrome pops. 5 of them were gold chrome that were shared, and then you had the con-only 2,500 piece blue chrome pops. So these Concept Series pops that are from the concept characters that were created by Ralph McQuarrie are really neat. And like I had mentioned on these videos, that I had thought originally that the Star Killer was a girl, but it ends up being the original concept for Luke Skywalker. I'm really loving this Chewbacca. It reminds me of Zeb from Rebels. I love this look. And it would have been actually, I would have been fine if Wookiees looked like this, if it ended up being like this. The Boba Fett looks weird, but looks cool at the same time. I love the different shadings of white that they have on this pop. And then, of course, definitely my favorite concept series pop is the Darth Vader. I love the idea of a blue lightsaber originally thought of instead of your typical Dark Lord red lightsaber. And I definitely will be buying this pop. Hopefully it does go to EB Games on Friday, like I had said, because definitely if that happens, then Monday's video will be a review video for that concept series Darth Vader pop. The Lesson in the Force Yoda. Oh man, this is so awesome. Like I look at this pop and everything about it is so awesome, especially with the detail of the swampy translucent water. Looks so good. And they even added the seaweed. They even added a little rock platform so that they had some place to add the Star Wars logo so it wouldn't look so awkward, which is really cool that they put it right there. And then you got Yoda with his eyes closed and he's lifting up the ship. It's such an iconic moment in Star Wars. And I'm actually, if I'm not mistaken, when we did our Empire Strikes Back podcast and I was listing pops that I want to see next in the Empire Strikes Back set of pops, this was one of them, like a swampy X-Wing. And the fact that they did it this way is just so awesome. And I know a lot of people are going to buy this. This is probably like the most hyped pop of the entire convention. Then we got the 10-inch Stormtrooper, which looks really cool, honestly. And a lot of people are hyping for this, but there are, of course, those people that wish that this was a 4-inch pop, which I totally understand. But just the amount of detail that's put on this pop because it's a 10-inch is just awesome. The Jollibee pop rides, this isn't bad. I mean, I don't really know about Jollibee all that much, but this is a cool variant of Jollibee instead of doing like, I think they've done a flocked one, they've done a gold chrome one. So it's cool that they've kind of upped it a little bit. And then even with the box, you got a cool little Jollibee sticker. Crazy to think that we're now at the 90th pop ride with this one. The Donald Duck in pajamas. This is pretty cool, actually. It's not bad, and it's cool that they made a Funko HQ exclusive because it's been a while since they have done a Funko HQ exclusive. Then we got the Murder Machine Batman, which this is an all right pop. I do like what glows in the dark for the chase. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I am so pumped for Rock'em Sock'em Robots. You will just not believe how pumped I am. Like, when I first heard of the Retro Toys lineup, I'm like, man, how cool would it be if they had Rock'em Sock'em Robot pops? I'm surprised that they didn't make a 2-pack out of this instead of making 2 separate pops. And this is where Barnes & Noble was just listening to our podcast and be like, all right, hold my beer. Anyways, but the pops themselves, they look really cool. But I feel like in my opinion, though, the head should be a little wider. They're a little bit too like normal, like for a pop head. Like it looks almost like it's almost the same size as a pop head. I felt like it would have been like a little bit more wider. And then we got the Ninja Turtles pops, which, like I said, it is very odd that they put this in the Retro Toys lineup. And I think, judging by these pops, and this is what I originally thought these pops were for, was for the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie, just because of the way that the turtles look. Like, they look exactly like what they do for, like, more of the live-action version for the 1990 movie. But I think what they're doing here is that they couldn't get the actual license for the movie, so they got the license for, like, the action figures that came out for the movie, and that's how they've been able to pull that off. But then also to kind of back up that this could be just a normal license for the toys is the April O'Neil, because it does not look like April O'Neil from the 1990 movie. It just looks like her from either the cartoons or the action figures that were made. And then the Casey Jones looks pretty cool also. I think the best looking one is Michelangelo, just because of the pizza and how they have the cheese just stretched out there, and he's got a thumbs up there. The Devil Ned Flanders. I think this is all right, but I kind of feel weird that when this pop glows in the dark, it's just basically entirely green. But I think it's cool that they're like making another Devil Ned Flanders just because they know that the common one's going to sell already. So they're kind of like milking that one too. Then we got the WWE lineup, which this is an okay lineup. The Rock is all right. I think this is more of current Rock because of the way that his attire looks. Mr. T's all right, but I feel they either should have done just the Mr. T in that 2-pack with Hogan or not do Mr. T at all, because why should Mr. T even be in this? I know he had a match at WrestleMania 1 teaming with Hogan, which explains the 2-pack, but then he also had that boxing match with Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 2, but it's like you could have easily put some other legend like Ultimate Warrior or even a legend we haven't seen yet in Funko Pop form to fill that spot. And then I would have been happy with just Mr. T in that 2-pack with Hogan, because obviously it makes sense. And the Hogan Pop does look really cool, actually. He's got that pose where his hands are clinched together so he can like show off what his bicep looks like and how jacked it is. And a lot of people were saying like, wow, that Hogan's got a lot of hair compared to what he actually has. But I think at that time he did have, obviously he was going bald, but I think he had like still a bit of hair on top. But then we go to what I feel is the best pop of this set of WWE pops, and that is the new Macho Man Randy Savage. I think there was 3 of them before, and all of them are expensive now. But man, this Macho Man is so wicked, especially the glasses, the hat, and even like his whole attire with the tassels. I think this is supposed to be kind of the spoof, or not a spoof, but I think it's supposed to be based off of his Slim Jim commercial. I think this attire, which is really, really cool. This definitely is going to my collection because I wanted a Randy Savage pop, but like I said, all of the Randy Savage pops are just so expensive now. This Randy Savage needs to be in my collection because this is wicked. Ooh yeah, dig it.
So, concept series pops for the Galactic Convention Star Wars Celebration. These are awesome. And one thing that I was surprised by was that you actually knew Ralph McQuarrie's name. Because I was going to mention that, but you've obviously done your research for this, which is great. Yeah, I love that Chewbacca. It's really cool. It's great. I love Ralph McQuarrie's art. All of his art is amazing. The Star Killer, that's alright. It is kind of a girly body. The Darth Vader is amazing. It is an amazing looking pop. And I also really do love the Boba Fett. The reason why he kind of looks weird is because before Star Wars was made, when they were kind of just in the process of doing all these concepts and stuff like that, Boba Fett wasn't actually supposed to be a bounty hunter. He was going to be a super trooper. But then they later changed it where instead he would be a bounty hunter. So that's kind of why he looks the way he does in there. The Yoda, this is alright. I mean, obviously it's amazing. But even as a Star Wars fan, I just don't think I really need this. But besides that, it looks amazing. His eyes are closed, and obviously that X-Wing looks great with the water being pulled up and streaming down from the crevices of the X-Wing. It's an amazing pop, it really is. And I do agree with you on how the Star Wars logo is put on that rock. It's not just a stupid base with a Star Wars logo on it, which always looks stupid in my opinion. Good job here, Funko. The 10-inch Stormtrooper, this is pretty cool. I mean, a lot of 10-inch pops that are just remade pops are kind of just, it's like, okay, here's a cool 10-inch pop. And that's kind of what's going on here. But obviously, you kind of get to see more of the detail, especially in, I guess the speaker would be for the mouth. The Jollibee Pop Rides on delivery bike, this is really cool. I actually really like this. If there was a Jollibee that I would get, it would probably be this one. And yeah, like you said, wow, number 90 for Pop Rides. That is insane. The Funko headquarters exclusive Donald Duck in pajamas. I love this pop. I love Donald Duck. I always have. I really love his scenes where he's like waking up out of bed in pajamas. The Batman as, what'd you say? It's War Machine Batman?
It's the Murder Machine.
Murder Machine. The chase for this looks amazing. I love the glow in the dark on that. I don't know why, because normally a glow in the dark pop like this, I'm just like, meh, that's alright. But for some reason, that color blue with that color red just pops so well, especially on that like dark navy blue, metallic-y, and silver kind of background that it's on. I think it looks so good. Then we're moving on to the Rock'em Sock'em robots. And now, I understand what you mean about you wanting a wider head on these pops, but I don't think they need it because I think they look amazing the way they are. Then the Ninja Turtles pops, and man, you took the words right out of my mouth when you talked about the April O'Neil. That's definitely April O'Neil based on the cartoons and not on the movie. But the Casey Jones and the Turtles are 100% based on the movies. They're my favorite movies. They are what got me into the Ninja Turtles. These are just so amazing. I'm going to be getting all 6 of these pops. I love the Casey Jones pop. He's an awesome character in the movies and even in the cartoons. He just looks great. The glow-in-the-dark Devil Ned. I'm torn with this pop. It's not my favorite. One, because let's just get a normal Ned Flanders. We don't need to Devil Ned. But it also is kind of cool, and I kind of do really like the green color, at least. The new WWE pops. I'm really torn up on this, because these are all pops, obviously besides Mr. T, that we've had before. We've had a Rock. This one looks all right. We've had a Hogan before. This one looks really good, actually. And I do agree that his hair, I think, is spot on right there. I don't think there's too much hair there at all because it obviously is a very young Hogan. We've had Macho Mans. This is arguably the best one. We don't have a Mr. T from WWE, at least. But now we have two of them in one line. I don't know. I don't think it's the best. I also agree with you where, like, we could just have the one in the 2-pack and then skip out on the common one, I guess you would say, and have a different legend in it. And my pick for a legend would be Vader. I think Vader would be awesome in Funko Pop form.
So now we're going to move on to the top 10 Funko Pops for the month of August 2020. Of course, because we are recording this on the 26th, obviously there are some pops we're going to miss out for the month of August, like those South Park pops we were talking about earlier, which will kick off our podcast next week. Like usual, kicking off with MD Shady.
All right, so starting at number 10 is the Inventor from Edward Scissorhands. Like I said previously, I love his character because he kind of seems like this really like diabolical evil man, and then you kind of realize that he's not exactly that. And I think the pop looks really, really cool as well.
Coming in at number 10 on my list is the Box Lunch exclusive Kevin Malone with tissue box shoes from The Office. This pop looks so great, and it's so cool that we got another Kevin pop. There was a bit of hype. It looks really great, and I can't wait to own this pop because obviously I'm looking to have a complete Office collection.
All right, number 9, the blue robot from Rock'em Sock'em Robots. These pops look amazing, and I knew that one of them had to be on the list, and I had to go blue. I don't think I've ever played red ever in my life, so it's obviously going to be the blue one.
Weird. I feel like I might actually like red better than blue.
I actually thought that you were going to say that because I feel like you like a lot of red things.
I don't know whether I should say that's what she said
I was just
after
thinking
that.
that.
I don't know if that was the perfect timing, but anyways, my number 9, Michelangelo from the TMNT set of pops. The reason why it's so low is because obviously there was some bad hype as terms to why is this in the Retro Toys lineup, and the fact that a lot of the Ninja Turtles, like, people were like, oh, like, these look weird. But at the same time, I think these are based off of the 1990s movies, which are really cool. And especially this definitely is the best one because of the pizza. And it's higher than Kevin because of detail. That's basically it.
My number 8, one of the concept pops, and it is my boy Chewbacca. It's great. It's a great pop. The concept art for Chewbacca is so weird, and I love it. Obviously, I'm so glad that they went with the design that they did because Chewbacca is my favorite Star Wars character. I hope we see more of these concept art pops.
Number 8 on my list. Ooh, yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage Funko Pop. Ooh, yeah, dig it, cream of the crop. This is so great, this pop, and the detail, so great. More detail than the 2 pops I just mentioned, in my opinion, at least. My personal reaction, obviously, up because I love WWE and I'm a wrestler myself, so obviously I gotta love this pop. The reason it's low, though, is because of the hype. There are people who don't really like WWE, but there are people that do. Plus, I feel like there's a lot more hype when it comes to the next 7 pops I'm going to talk about. So that's why it's at number 8.
Number 7 for me is the Target glow-in-the-dark alien as Buzz. Like I said, it really does make sense for it to be glow-in-the-dark because of Buzz Lightyear, and this just looks so cool. I like the alien pops where they're based off of Toy Story characters. It just makes the most sense, in my opinion.
All right, so number 7 on my list is the Box Lunch exclusive Raven Bart from the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror lineup. This had to make my list because there is just so much hype around this pop. There isn't obviously as much detail as the last 3 pops that were on this list, but people have been waiting for this pop for so long, and there's a huge surprise element because not a lot of people had heard rumors about a Raven Bart pop coming out. That's a bonus of why this made it on the list, and I think it's going to be a big seller for the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror lineup. So yeah, Raven Bart at number 7.
My number 6 is Michelangelo from the new Retro Toys TMNT lineup. Like you said, the pizza on the thing just looks so great. It's arguably the best one. I'm a little sad that my favorite is not Leonardo because he is my boy, but the mic just looked too good not to add, and I'm so happy that these pops are coming out.
Coming in at number 6 on my list is the Star Wars Celebration shared with EB Games in Canada, GameStop in the US exclusive concept series Darth Vader. I love this pop, and it's a for sure buy. It's really cool. The detail's awesome. It was definitely the most talked about concept series pop when this got announced. I think it just looks so good.
Moving on to number 5. Kick the music.
Do da 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 da. I was waiting for you to continue it.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Pyro.
Right.
Boom.
My number 5. Oh yeah, it's the Macho Man Randy Savage. This Macho Man looks great. It is the best Macho Man. I really love this one with the hat and the jacket with the tassels. Way better than the kind of ring attire ones where he has the, like, what's it, not headband, the
Bandana.
bandana. Yes,
Yeah.
bandana. It's way better than the bandana look, in my opinion. I just love it. It's a great pop, and I'm very, very happy to see it.
Number 5 on my top 5 portion of the top 10 list is the Star Wars Celebration shared with Amazon exclusive A Lesson in the Force pop movie moments or deluxe or whatever it's going to be. I think it's movie moments, but it is so detailed, and this was definitely like one of the most hyped pops of the entire set of announcements for Star Wars Celebration. Looks so good. What didn't make it higher than number 5, honestly, there I felt was a little bit more hype with these next 4.
My number 4 is from the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror lineup, and it is Donut Head Homer. This pop looks great. I know there is a lot of hype over this pop because it's so iconic to the Treehouse of Horror in The Simpsons, and it looks so cool, especially how the inside of the bite out of the donut kind of looks textured, and it's so weird. We haven't really seen a pop like this, and I think that's one of the things that makes this pop great.
Number 4 on my list is the EB Games / GameStop exclusive Ratchet and Clank 2-pack. This is awesome. Like, just the way that these pops turned out, Ratchet and Clank both look really great in pop form. And there's a lot of times when they pull off a character and it doesn't look good in pop form, but Ratchet and Clank do look really good in pop form. The only reason why it didn't go probably any higher is because of some of the bad hype as terms to, well, they made this pop, but what about Jack and Dexter? And like all that from what I mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before. So yeah, Ratchet and Clank 2-pack at number 4.
I just realized that in the update, I will definitely have to change some things around because I forgot about those PlayStation Pops. But my number 3 is the Box Lunch exclusive tissue box shoes, Kevin Malone. Oh, this is one of my favorite moments from The Office. I love it so much. His hair looks so good. The whole head looks good. And then, of course, you have those great tissue box shoes. What a conversation piece. But my dogs are barking.
Number 3 is also from The Office, but it is the FYE exclusive, the Scranton Boys 2-pack. Oh, this 2-pack is so great. While rewatching The Office again, I just had to keep listening to that because it's such a good rap and it's such an awesome moment. And I'm glad that we actually will be able to talk about this on our Office podcast. If you haven't heard yet, guys, the Office podcast that we're doing for one of our fandom related podcasts happening Friday, September 25th.
Number 2 on my list is part of the Retro Toys lineup, and it's Casey Jones. I love the character, and I love the way this pop turned out. I think it looks so movie accurate and just so great. I love his character. He's always been my favorite character from TMNT ever since I was little, and there's nothing bad about this pop, really.
My number 2 is the Hot Topic exclusive Donut Head Homer from the Treehouse of Horror lineup. I think this looks awesome. The biggest surprise element of that whole set, because it was not rumored at all. I think Raven Bart was rumored for a little bit, but no one had predicted Donut Head Homer. A lot of people have been wanting this. Even when the original set was made last year, they wanted a Donut Head Homer. And even when the original Treehouse of Horror lineup came out, they wanted this one. So it's cool that Funko is listening to their fans and they're giving us Donut Head Homer. The only reason why it did not make it number 1, HD Internet actually showed off the pop on one of the recent Periscope streams for Hot Topic. And when you look at the inside, it looks more like cheese than it does a donut, which is a little disappointing, but that's the only reason why. MD, you're number one. I'm a little curious now with all these pops that you...
Yeah, so my number one is a 2-pack, and it is the Scranton Boys. Oh, so great. Like you said, it's such a funny, great wrap. It's a classic. It's so good. And I think that these pops were very well executed. And they don't just have their arms down. Like, I know, like, Dwight, like, has, like, his hand out or something, like, with his, like, fingers kind of, like, doing something. They look so good. It's just so well-deserved that it had to be number one.
All right, so my number one, it is the EB Game / GameStop exclusive Sweet Tooth with Ice Cream Truck Pop Rides. This Pop Rides looks insane. Detail on point. So great. The hype is just through the roof. It was definitely, like, along with Ratchet and Clank, the most talked about PlayStation pops that were made. And it's from a licensor that we haven't gotten in years. Huge surprise element, and it deserved to be number one in my opinion because it was so well done, and it's a great addition to the PlayStation lineup of pops. So yeah, Sweet Tooth with the Ice Cream Truck Pop Rides from Twisted Metal at number one on my top 10 list. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this week's podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you smash that like button to let us know that you're enjoying the content being provided to you guys on this channel. Comment in the comment section below on what your favorite pops for the month of August 2020 were. Press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future. And press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. It'll be listed in the description below. But anyways, guys, thank you all for listening to this week's edition of A Funko Popcast, and we hope to see you guys next week. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Peace in, peace out.